Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl JQ.
Hey, welcome back. It's Dali con Pique
Welcome to another episode
of Are We Adulting Yet?
Today is our sex talk.
Oh.
XXX.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. So we figured we'd drop an episode like this just to talk about
because we know a lot of sex is going to be going on. First of all, I'm a Scorpio, baby, and I know my ass was conceived on Valentine's Day. If you do the math, Valentine's Day is when I was conceived. So we want to put it out there, some facts, some of our opinions about sex.
I wasn't conceived on... I was about to say on Thanksgiving. I wasn't conceived on Valentine's Day, but... I'm a Taurus, not that that makes any sense.
Me and my brother were both born in November.
That's crazy.
Like
Valentine's Day was lit.
Right. Are we both Valentine's Day babies? Probably.
Let me find out.
The day of love. But with the day of love comes a lot of other things. So that's what we want to talk about. So I don't know. Do you want to... First of all, how have you been?
I've been okay. Me, on the other hand, I've been celibate for some time. So, it gives me a lot of time to think and realize what I want, what I need as a person aside from that. Because that can make your mind a little foggy. Good D can put you in a place, can put you in a certain mindset. It doesn't matter what you think. You just want it, you know?
At the same time, I feel like being celibate is kind of empowering. Like, all right, I don't need this.
Right.
I'm focusing on different things other than that.
Yes.
Other than my hormones, I guess.
For sure. I think that my mind isn't elsewhere, because that can be a really big distraction. And technically right now, I'm single. We just did that whole, relationship and ex's whole thing. Yes. So, I'm currently single, but I've just been keeping to myself. Trying to do some self-meditation, trying to figure out what I need, what I want for myself. Because, I'm almost 30. And it's about time I know what I need in my life, aside from sex. Because sex isn't everything. It's great, but it's not everything. So,
I also feel like, too, the older we get, the more, at least for me, the more I realize sex is a very sacred thing.
Yes.
And it's a very, personal, intimate thing.
Yes, of course.
And it shouldn't be taken lightly. And now, I feel like getting older, I start to realize why people are so big on, no sex before marriage. Celibacy.
Yeah. When you're older, you understand. When you're younger, you're like, fuck it.
Fuck this. I got to test drive my car before I take it out the lot.
That's the truth. But, it's not everything. It's not I think that a lot of people concentrate on that. A lot of people are pressured to do that. Because if you find a guy who's a virgin, God forbid. Guys are like, oh, you ain't shit. Right. You're a pussy, this and this and that. We'll say all types of things about you because you're a virgin. But once you make that score, you are the man.
The man.
Know? And
once you're hitting multiple different women,
you are the shit.
You are the shit. You are God at that point.
And it's so stupid to think
God forbid a woman does that.
Right.
Then they're a slut. We're not going to get into that.
I wish they advertised finding yourself and trying to figure out what you need in life ahead of this, figure out what you need in life and then figure that out.
Right.
And that's why the adulting 101 is to be mindful that your body's a temple. So be careful who you let in because not everyone is good for you. And not everyone you let in is good for your life.
On to that. I agree with that. But I also agree with the fact that sometimes you want to explore, especially in your 20s. We're in our 20s. My early 20s. Sorry, Mom. my early 20s, I was like, I'm single. I don't have to worry about nobody.
Right.
But you also have to be mindful about the person that you are as an individual and how strong you are. Because letting all those other energies in
may not be
can
good for
fuck
you.
with your energy. Right. Because you're mixing all these different people into it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why people will say oh yeah, just to freak somebody is just to freak somebody. But for some people it's more than that. And it's I'm giving you a part of myself.
Right.
Which is like a part of your energy.
And no hate to anyone that wants to just freak.
You do you, boo.
You know, like, all power to you. Like, do whatever you need to do. But also be mindful to take care of yourself in the process. Because you don't want to get into this messy situation where you're just messing with a whole bunch of people and then you don't know who you are anymore. Right. And then you're being labeled as a slut and a whore, especially for women.
And that's what you confine yourself to.
And then you start to believe it.
Right.
And if you don't have a strong hold of your sense of worth and who you are as a person, you're going to start to believe all these other things. And you're going to be like, damn, maybe I am a slut.
Because if you're not strong about who you are and if you don't know who you are and what you need in life, like there are some women who know what they want in life and all they want is to have sex with a man and that's it and continue with their life.
And they're fine.
Right. And they're fine. But it's not the same for everyone. So that's one thing that we need to keep mindful. It's not the same for everyone. It's different for everyone, you know? So, like, one female may be okay with sleeping with 3 guys in a week or whatever, just to do whatever, you know, to find pleasure for herself. But for others, it may be different, you know? Like, they rather be in a relationship with somebody or they rather, you know?
Or, too, like, people go through waves in their life. So, like, your wave at the time may be, I'm going to fuck anything that comes around.
Right.
And I'll be with it. And then you might be on a wave where you're like, I'm going to be celibate for a while.
Yeah. There was a certain time where I was a little bit wild, I guess. But I didn't lose my virginity till later. So I was like 18. And then I didn't give myself much time to figure out who I was and what I was doing. And then I got pregnant at 22. So I wasn't having sex for very long to, you know, to become more knowledgeable about it. And then after I had a baby, I was like, look, but you need to know your facts. You need to know what's going on because you went into this blind, which most girls do. You know what I'm saying? And then they're too trusting, they're too whatever, and they end up with the shitty stick at the end, you know? So, like, you just got to be careful, man. You just have to be very careful and mindful. You got to, I mean, you can trust somebody, but that doesn't mean they're clean. Like, I always used to say, like, you could be messing with somebody, but they could be messing with somebody else, and they could be messing with somebody else. At the end of the day, you're messing with 40 people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to be very careful with who you mess with. So, just keep that very mindful.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want anyone who's getting around like crazy. And if you don't mind that, just be smart about it. Don't be stupid. Be protected. Be on birth control. Be on whatever. You know, use condoms. Do whatever you need to do. That's one thing. We don't want to make this about, like, STDs and stuff because it's not about that. But that does exist. We can't forget that. That does exist.
It comes with the sex.
Yes.
It comes with the good.
Yeah. And that, like, that's the bad of the good, you know? So,
right.
So just be mindful and just be careful, y'all. Because people out here ain't clean. Some people ain't. They aren't, though. There's a lot of people who are not clean. And then we had some statistics that we had found about some people, and it was insane, like what we heard. And I was just like amazed at the fact that people are still out here just crazy.
Yeah, some crazy STD statistics. It says that they estimate that there are approximately 20 million new STD infections each year. Each year. Almost half of them among young people ages 15 to 24. See,
so what the heck? My thing is with that. But a lot of people lost their virginity at 15, 16. I feel like those early teens, you know, the later teens, let's say that. The later teens, 15, 16, 17, 18, a lot of people lose their virginity. But they don't know what the fuck they're getting into. And they don't know any facts about what's being taught. You know what I'm saying?
Even then, like, I feel like I was brought up, you know, we didn't have, like, severe sex education and stuff like that. But we were, I mean, it was in our head. We knew about it. It wasn't like drilled into us, but we were like, all right, STDs are a real thing.
The main thing I got out of my sex class was you're going to get your period. And my only sex class that I ever had was when I was in 6th grade. And that was to teach me about sex. Didn't teach me shit about sex, but I realized I was like, man, I got to wait for my period. Like, what is going to happen? I'm going to get my period. Didn't know the whole, like, they didn't break it down for me. They were just like, you're going to get your period and that's it. And this boy has a boner.
Right. I mean, I kind of got taught about the STDs. I went to a different school, too, and we were in different places and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I got taught about the STDs. But in my opinion, I feel like kids that are 15 to that range of age, you feel just naturally, you feel like you are invincible.
Right.
You feel like the worst is not going to happen to you. You feel like, oh, like that's the bad part of life, and that's never going to happen to me because I'm invincible. I've dealt with it this long. I haven't done it, you know?
Right.
And you're just kind of, you have that sense, like that naive mentality.
Yeah. I was into them, but they ended up giving me something, you know what I'm saying? And thank God it was, like I said, curable. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, that's crazy because, you know, not a lot of people will talk about it, but it happens to more people than you think. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, like, and I've noticed that too. I've had a couple people tell me like, oh yeah, I've had one before, or my ex gave me one, you know, and it's like, damn.
It's very, very common.
It's much more common than you think. A lot of people just don't talk about it because it's a big embarrassment.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the same thing with mental health. No one wants to be labeled as crazy because you don't want to be crazy.
But I feel like STDs are
you
just
don't want
as
to
damn
be
common as
labeled as I'm dirty.
Right.
You know, but everyone's kind of like being dirty.
But I feel like right. I feel like STDs are damn near as common as colds now.
Yeah. I feel like that too. I mean, everywhere I go, they're like, "Oh, chlamydia."
And that I think that's the issue though, because people are not as vocal as about it. You know, so most people don't think it's as serious. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like if people were more vocal about it and less embarrassed and had humility with it, then they would get it more out there. But at the same time, people would be getting knowledge that they should know and take more precautions than they need to, you know? So it's like, okay, well, that's the part of sex. But, yeah, when you're, like, I feel like when you're in that moment, I feel you don't think that. You're just like,
No, you don't.
I just want to bone you.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't.
People don't think about that shit, you know? Like,
I mean, me personally, the main thing I'm thinking about, besides, all right, it's going to feel good, is babies.
Right.
That's the main thing.
What is going to come with this? I don't want to get pregnant. But you don't think about the STD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like,
Like, oh, if I'm on birth control, it's fine.
Yeah.
But there's so many other things. But we're not going to make it negative. We can't make it negative. But I want sex talks to be exciting because growing up is a part of life.
Yes.
It's a part of everything. Like,
sex is a part of life.
Yeah. Even when we were still kids, our hormones were going crazy.
Right. And now that we're older, of course, that's like a normal part of our lives now, you know? So how do we communicate this to like even me? I'm like, I don't even want to have a sex talk with my kid. Like, you're going to stay a virgin forever. But I know that's not going to happen, you know? And like, I feel like most people, they lose their virginity younger. You know, I feel like I lost it later in life. Like, even though I was 18 when I lost it, I feel like a lot of people that I knew around me were losing it, like,
girl, I remember
younger.
in middle school. I was in middle school, 6th grade. Maybe 7th grade. No,
girl,
7th grade.
And kids were having sex.
And kids were getting caught having sex.
Yes, I didn't understand
and
that.
my virgin eyes, I was like,
sex?
No.
Sex? I never had a kiss.
I don't even have a boy that thinks I'm cute. How are you having sex?
Girl, I remember there was a couple in my school, and they were like the big it couple or whatever. And we're 11. We're in 6th grade, and these kids were having sex. And I was like,
crazy.
Where did you even learn this? Because I didn't learn this shit at home. But that's another thing, too, because some kids are exposed to sex like earlier in life than other kids. So me, I was raised in church. So me being raised in church, my automatic thing was I'm going to be a virgin till I'm married.
But on the other hand, I feel like there's a few people that are raised, like, you know, when they say pastor kids are like the worst kind of kids. Right. Like they rebel. They were raised in church and they rebel and they ended up getting pregnant at like 15.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to take that. That's my thing. Like, you could be exposed to it and then think it's normal, but then you could be so suppressed from it and so, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, super suppressed from it and you get curious.
Look, so I looked up these quotes or these statistics, and it says that the average age that people lose their virginity is apparently 17.4 years of age.
Okay.
So I wasn't too much. Yeah. But you become sexually aware when you're 15. And I think it's before that too.
Yeah.
When you're like, when you get them little thoughts in your head and you're like, But I don't know, I never acted on it. I was a very goody two-shoe.
I was super big on like, oh my God, I'm so nervous for my first kiss.
Right. The little
just,
steps.
The
little shit.
People were like getting suspended because they were getting caught for having sex. And I was like, oh.
Wait, what?
If a guy kisses me on my cheek, I'm flustered. Right. And I don't know what the fuck to do.
So imagine me like being like, yeah.
Yeah. Take my pants off. And yeah. On the way to English class.
At 15, I feel like we had, I don't know.
At 15, I mean, granted, at 15, I would like to say at 15 is when I fell in love for the first time.
I think we always feel...
Yeah, like you kind of like picture it. You kind of like envision what it would be like, but you don't know what you're picturing.
What you're gonna.
You don't know what you're like
want
comparing
it to be that way.
to, because you've never done it.
Right.
So you're like, oh, even if he just makes out with me, that's sex.
Right.
You know, you don't
that's
know.
That's a big step.
When I made out for the first time, I was like, nothing's gonna ever top this.
Right.
Sex is never going to be greater than what I just went through. And
That's
like,
so funny.
I don't know. It's experience too, I feel like. But I feel like when I was younger and I went through it for the first time, my initial reaction was kind of like, all right, this is it. This is what the big hype was about.
This is it? Question mark.
Right. Are we having sex yet?
Right.
And, like, because, granted, the other person probably doesn't know what they're doing either.
Man, these dudes piss me off because you're saying that, and that just reminds me of the first person that I lost my virginity to because they were such a hoe. Why did I even, like, think to have sex with them? But they just should have known what was going on. They should have known how to have sex because as many people as you're sleeping with, you should know. But that didn't work out that way.
They're probably having sex with amateurs too.
Right. And what did I learn? Shit. Like out of that, I learned how to please him. Mm-hmm. Didn't learn how to please myself. Didn't learn how to really please, like...
And that's what I think is the most important thing about having sex. I feel like you should be a little selfish with it.
Know what you need.
Yeah.
And I feel like if a guy is... I feel weird because your mom's gonna.
I know. We already know my mother is listening to this, so it's really awkward. We're like looking at each other like, bitch, don't say too much.
But like,
it's weird, and we're 28 years old. Bitch, bye.
Still ashamed.
So a hot mess.
But I don't know. Like for me, the first he didn't teach me anything. I think it's very important for you to know what you need. You need to learn your own body first. Like, people go into that without knowing anything. And then the guy's using their body for what? Mm-hmm. You need to know what you want too, boo-boo. You can't just... It's not about him. It's never just about him.
But in a sense, maybe that's what he taught you. You know what I'm saying?
To make it about him?
No, like how you were saying, I don't know what he taught me. Like, he didn't teach me anything. In a sense...
He taught me that I need to learn about myself.
He taught me that,
right. I need to learn
in a sense, like... All right, well, I know I don't ever want that anymore because I fucking wish that was trash.
Garbage.
You have caca pee-pee.
Caca pee-pee.
Caca pee-pee. I don't want it no more.
It's always nice to find someone who's willing to please you before themselves, Because they want to know.
And it's weird because you don't know what you want in that sense.
Right.
It's a learning experience.
It is.
You don't know.
It's not taught to you. It's not taught to you at all. Especially we had Latina parents, so it was like.
I mean, granted, why would it be? Like, would you ever teach Jonah, what is it that you would like sexually?
I know, right?
You would never ask. You would never ask your kid that. That's freaking weird. You would never.
But you know what the thing is, though? Because I feel like you can approach your daughter or son in a certain way that isn't like, I could teach Jonah, like, if I'm comfortable enough, which I feel like I'm never going to be. But I could be like, whenever you are intimate with a female, you need to make sure that she's comfortable and that she's pleasured as well. Mm-hmm. You are not the only one that can be pleasured. I could teach him that, but like...
Dude, even you telling... She's like looking me in my eyes and I'm like, this is awkward.
Oh my God. But I'm saying, I could teach him how to take care of a woman before himself in a certain way, I could teach him in other ways aside from just sex so that he knows that should be an automatic thought. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and please myself. I need to make sure I'm catering to her too.
Right.
So, like, that's not taught to every guy. And that's the thing. You know, these guys have this mentality of like, oh yeah, I gotta be big shit. I gotta have sleep with as many girls as I need to. And in the process, learn nothing about a female. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a difference, you know? It's a difference between a boy and a man, you know?
Yeah, it's true. We don't know how to teach him that yet, but...
We'll figure it out.
Maybe.
No. We'll help you guys figure it out. I mean...
No, but it is weird, like... You don't expect... And even, like, as a kid, I wouldn't have expected my parents to tell me that. I would have been like, ew!
Yeah, my mom... I know for the longest time, my mom was like... she found out I was having sex, and she was like, you know, because I was such a big... We were in church. Like, that was not a thing. I did not want her to find out, and she still found out because I was a dumbass. And then she's like, you need to be protected. You need to be protected. And she's like, are you making sure you're protected? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I was like, Ma, I fucked up. I got pregnant. And I cried my eyeballs out because it was like, damn, when you're younger, it's so true. You don't listen to your parents. And then when you decide to do it, it's already damn too late. You know, and you're thinking like, damn, I should have listened to them. Fuck, I should have listened to them. So like that was an instance where when I had a baby and when I got pregnant, I was like, man, I should have been protected and I should have listened to her. And thank God I didn't like sleep up with some crazy like someone who was just hoeing around. You know what I'm saying? So like I had a baby with him. He's a very good father and everything. But I was just lucky enough to find that because not everyone does. You know? So like, and there's more probably that don't understand what I'm saying who are left out of that equation, you know? There's probably a lot of women who don't have that. So I'm grateful in that way, but man, I should have listened to my mom.
Dude, I remember when I was in high school, I was definitely a senior in high school. And my mom decided to give me like the birth control talk. And it was like super awkward for the both of us. She involves my cousin, like my older cousin. I don't know. It was so fucking weird. We went to Costco's.
Oh my God.
We did a whole grocery, a whole compra at Costco's. And you know, like when you're leaving, you go buy like a hot dog.
Right.
And shit for like $1.50. We were like, yeah, let's get a hot dog. And they sat me down and gave me the birth control talk. And I was like, what in the actual fuck is happening? Like, we're eating hot dogs at Costco's, and you're telling me it's okay to be on birth control.
Eating a piece of pizza and icy
so
and shit.
Awkward. But, like, it has to happen.
Yeah, it has to happen at some
point.
point.
And, like, at some point, you need to remember that your parents are growing up as well.
And at the same
they're
time,
trying to figure it out, too.
The thing is, like, with me, like, having Jonah shows me that I grow with him every year. It's not just him growing, it's me too. Because I have to adjust to how he is, how his life is, how much older, you know, he's getting, how much smarter he's getting, what he's knowing more, what he's retaining more, you know? So it's like, as a 15, I think about him being 15 and I'm like, damn, I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's stressful. Like, oh my God.
And that's what I have to remind because like right now I look back at it and I'm like, why would they ever do that to me? That was such an awkward situation for me. But then I'm like, all right, hold up. Think back. My mom was trying to figure it out too. Right. My mom was trying to figure out the best way to do it. My cousin was there. My cousin was like, let's have the talk together. Probably whatever, you know? Like, I get it. It was still awkward as fuck, but...
I feel like it's always going to be awkward because if you're not if you're not like BFF with your parents, it's going to be an awkward conversation because it's like, what are you talking to me about?
Right. Sex.
I'm not having sex. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this, you know? And forgetting that they're grown. Yeah. And they've been through this. You know, they have more wisdom than we do. So, like, it takes a lot. But when you're 15, you're not thinking about that shit. You're just like, whatever. And
I think another thing, fast forward when you're not 15, even in your 20s, if you decide to just be having sex, just to have sex because you're single as fuck and you deserve the right to do whatever the fuck you want, just be open with it with whoever you're having sex with. Be honest. They deserve that. Like,
but you deserve that too. So make sure you're getting that.
If a guy is coming, like, per se, because for example, like we're women, if a guy's coming into our lives and they're open and honest with like, look, I'm gonna fuck you, but you're not the only one.
Right, that I'm messing
that I'm messing around with. then I can make the decision for myself. Do I want to do this?
Right.
Do I not? You know, it's kind of like messed up in a sense to be like, oh yeah, you're the only one.
Right.
Like,
and in my opinion, there's a lot of guys who are not honest with that. They feel like, and I always tell guys this, like, be honest, because anywhere you go, there's going to be some girl who doesn't care about what you're doing. They're still going to mess with you. So regardless if a girl says no because you're messing with other females, there's another one that's going to say yes. So guess what? Just be honest. Just be honest, you know, like.
Just keep it real. Keep it 100, because at the end of the day, we all want to have sex. Let's be real. At the end of the day, it's all the same shit.
Yes.
We all want to do it. Let's just be honest about it. Let's just be real about it. Like, look, I want to do it, but not just with only you.
And
that, like, a guy just needs to be like, baby girl, I want to do it with you, but not just with you. I want to do it with her. I want to do it with her. If you're cool with that, I want to do it with you too.
The girls are going to be like, oh.
If the girl's not cool, like, listen, I want to be the one and only one. Be like, I'm sorry. I can't do that right now. Right now, that's not where my head is at. But don't fuck around with people's minds and don't fuck around with people's feelings, talking about you're the only one and this, and that, and I'm waiting for you and blah, blah, blah,
right.
when you're trying to just fuck everything that has two legs.
Just be real.
Right. Like,
and, you know, this Valentine's Day, that is our message. Just be real.
And don't be with the fake shit trying to buy chocolates and trying to buy teddy bears and trying to woo a girl. And then next week, you're trying to woo another girl.
Right.
And if you are with the wooing just one girl, good for you. You're in love.
And if you're not, you're a piece of shit.
No. If you're not, that's cool. I've been there.
But just be real.
I've been in the moment where I'm like, I'm trying to get with you, but like not all the way. Like I'm trying to get with him as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really feeling you. But I'm also really feeling him.
He might be of interest.
He just came into the room, and I'm really feeling him. Like, he looks like I could be feeling him. You know, but be honest about it. Like,
be honest with yourself. Be honest with your partner.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
That's all it is. Like, and that's sex is a very, very intimate thing. And for somebody to give their all to you like that,
yes,
you need to be raw and real with them.
So stop being childish. And go and explore what it is that you need and want. And if you're single, if you're in a relationship, spice it up and try different things. Communicate about what it is that you want, so that communication is clear and you guys are talking to each other. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So,
amen.
So go and find out what it is that you need. Explore your options. You know, especially if you're single, go ahead and explore your options.
Right. And if you're single, don't be scared. I feel like a number one thing too, like, especially with what we talked about. We talked about a lot of STDs and about a lot about like being with one person. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're single and you want to explore your options, don't feel guilty about that.
Don't let anyone make you feel guilty about that shit either.
Like, don't feel guilty that you, especially as a woman, I feel like we're two very genuine, raw women, and I feel like specifically for women, there's a stigma if you want to mess around with a lot of guys. We get labeled as a whore or a slut or this and this and that. It's like
times have changed, so like
even
I
still,
feel like women are more independent. We don't need men for shit. We don't need to have a man to figure out what we need to do in life, what we want in life, you know? So,
but even still with all that happening, I feel like if you had a guy that slept with the same amount of women that a girl has slept with the same amount of men,
gonna be a thing.
The guy's going to be looked at as, oh, he's the man.
You are the man.
Oh, he's the shit. He be pulling all these bitches. And then you look at the girl and they're like, bitch, you're a slut.
Yeah, she's a hoe. She's
dirty.
Going.
Bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially as a woman, if you're single and you're exploring, be safe about it, yes. Be cautious of, everything. But do what you want to do.
I feel like also...
don't be ashamed of it. Like,
I think confiding in the right people is a good thing, too. Because you don't want to be with someone who has a big mouth. You don't want to be with someone who's... that's very important, too. Because these guys will go and tell everyone and anyone if they smash or whatever. If they have sex with you or not. Like...
But even still, even if you mess with a guy and he turns out to have a big mouth...
why does it matter?
Why does it matter? Like, all right, yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't. Fucked. And for us, it doesn't. But that's why I say have someone you can confide in and who isn't a big mouth. Because that's none of their business. It's nobody's fucking business. So, like, at the end of the day, what you do shouldn't be in anyone's mouth. I just think that is stupid. So, like, you are going to have those people who are quick to say if they had sex with you or whatever, but you can tell from the get-go what type of person they are. So, just choose the right people, man. Explore, but choose the right people.
But even if you don't, that's why, like, earlier, be mindful of who you are as a person. Like, even if you choose if you thought you were choosing the right people and then it comes out that they're just talking shit about you behind your back, be mindful and be like, look, I told you straight up from the get, like, you were not the only one. I don't know why you're so, like, butthurt about anything. Right. You know, like, stuff like that. Like,
if you're honest with people.
Honest with yourself, and, like, just be real with yourself, especially when it comes to sex, because you're giving your all to somebody, and to give your all, you need to be giving your all to yourself, I feel like, in a sense.
And if it's
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. And if you're not 100% with who you are, you're kind of just incomplete, just giving yourself to other people.
And another note, I feel like sex should always be great.
Yes. That's our last point. Sex should always be great.
Sex should always be a fun time. And if it's not a fun time, which...
What do you feel... I'm going to ask you a question before we end. What do you feel is, like, the staple that lets you know, like, okay, they might be good in bed. They might be great. Do you think it goes from the kiss?
I think the kiss has something to do with it. Like, all right, you put a lot of effort and passion into it. But I think what makes me feel like a person is good in bed is the demeanor that they put on. Like, the personality, I guess you can say. Like, the confidence that they exude.
Right.
And not, like, a cocky kind of confidence. Because you have confidence that, oh, yeah.
There's, like, humble confidence.
Humbled confidence.
And then there's confidence where you're just big-headed.
Right. Like, humbled confidence where, like, I'm trying to think of somebody, like a famous person, that exudes that humbled confidence. I can't think of it right off the bat. But somebody that doesn't have to, like, brag about it. You just kind of know. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's up. You know what's up.
You're just kind of like... I like you. I feel like you got a big dick.
You exude that energy.
Right. You exude kind of like this big dick energy to me right now, and I'm liking it.
Oh my God. That's
Sorry,
so
Mom. But it's true. Like, you know, confidence goes a long way for me.
And you could have the smallest thing and have the best confidence.
I feel like,
you know, like, that's the
confidence
thing too.
is a main ingredient for me, and it's like, when you show lack of confidence, especially when I feel like when I see potential in you, and you don't see the potential in yourself, right? That's very, like, turns unattractive.
Oh, unattractive.
To me. Yeah, because in my past relationships, I've seen a lot of potential in people. In the people.
You see the potential, but they don't. And they don't see it.
And then, like, over time, you start to realize, like, bitch, I've seen the potential and you don't see the potential. Over time, it's like, that's unattractive. Right. That's not cute.
100%.
I don't have time to be putting my energy in your potential when you can't even put it into yourself. Right. Like, that's...
And that's a big thing, too. I believe that 100%.
Right. Like, I can think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, but... Man. If you don't believe it... I'm sorry, I gotta bounce.
I also think that it's important for a man to acknowledge and know your needs, regardless if it's having sex or in a relationship or a friendship. Like, if someone knows the type of person you are, that shows how much attention that they're paying to you. You know what I'm saying? That's true. So, like, I feel like that also, you know, plays a big part. Because how are they going to know what you like and you don't like? You know what I'm saying? And I think people who are like that will concentrate more on what you need than rather what they need.
That's true.
So, like...
And I feel like that's important in bed, too. Concentrate on the other person's needs.
Yeah. Because if both are doing the same thing, then you both are pleased. Like...
Right. And you're both getting somewhere. If you're just concentrating on your needs,
it's no
you're
good.
Focusing on your get.
You're like, selfish. All right.
Yes, selfish. But yeah.
But anyways, we're going to wrap this episode up.
I feel like we can definitely have more sex talk episodes.
Yes, we will make more.
There's always room for sex talk.
There always is going to be, I mean, there's going to be a pussy power too.
There is going to be a pussy power too.
The power of the pussy too, you know? So we're gonna, you know, just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Woo, we're kind of low.
We pop champagne today.
Yes, so we're a little tipsy, but trying to talk straight. But stay tuned. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting us so far.
Yes.
You know, the people who have made it with us this far.
Y'all the real ones.
Yes.
And even if you just joined us and you like it, y'all the real ones.
We love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.
We love that people are listening to our podcast. We love that you guys are interested. That makes us more interested in making more stuff. You know, that makes us happy. That makes us more motivated to do more.
It really does.
So we appreciate you guys.
And we love what we do. At this point, it's kind of like a hobby.
Yes.
It's a hobby.
It is. A side hobby that we do.
Yeah, but it's exciting to do. So, like, thank you for making it exciting for us.
Yes, thank you so much. We love you guys.
You. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace. Hey, guys. This is Two Favorite Girls.
Dali con pique.
EJQ.
EJQ. Spanish is fun.
JQ. What's going on?
Welcome back to our another episode.
Our 5-minute wind down.
5-minute wind down. We don't have wine with us today. I'm gonna be real honest. I drank a lot a few days ago, and I was extremely hungover, and I'm scared to drink again.
She's done with wine for now.
Yeah, I drank way too much Chardonnay. Way too much Chardonnay.
We had some coffee though, so
yeah.
Is that adult enough?
Right, we're good. But I told myself I wasn't gonna drink again until I go to Okeechobee. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. I feel like when you get older, drinking's just not the same. I felt like when we were 20, when we were invincible, drink it all.
Right, chug.
For Loco, 2 shots. Oh my God.
And then now I drank too much Chardonnay. What does my life come to?
Oh my God.
Dude, but when I tell you I was hungover, like, done. I don't even know how it worked. Done. Like, my insides still hurt from throwing up.
Oh my God.
My throat is killing me. It's a struggle. It's a struggle right now. So, like,
the consequences of these actions.
Wedding vibes, open bar.
That's how it usually is. It was a good time, I'm sure.
It was a good time. And the wedding was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I cried like 5 times.
And we were I know. Me and her were just talking about how we just had our episode about if we're ready for marriage. And when you go to a wedding, you're like, oh my God, when am I putting mine?
I can't wait to have my wedding. That was exact. And you know, Johnny ate that shit up. This is beautiful. We're next. I was like,
next day, no.
Whoa, calm down. Next day, the hangover hit me. The reality hit me. I was like, not ready for marriage. I wasn't even ready for the damn wine.
Oh my God. So you know, our 5-minute wind down is just about the most current things that have been happening behind the scenes. Can't talk. But what's been going on with you lately?
Not much. That was about it. Went to the wedding. Now I'm getting ready for Okeechobee.
Yes.
Madison and I are in the process of looking for a tent. We're going camping at music festival, and we don't have a tent. So we'll see how that goes. But
better get you a big tent.
I know. We bought. So we went to Walmart one time and found this cute tent. It was like a teepee tent, and it said on there perfect for festivals. And it had 2 girls outside of the tent drinking wine, and we were like, "This is us! This is perfect!" So we bought it, and then we took it to Bonnaroo, and it was too fucking big. We couldn't set it up.
Oh shit!
So we didn't have a tent at Bonnaroo.
Does it have to have like a requirement of how big it is?
It's like a teepee, so it points at the top and then goes like wide on the bottom, and then you have to stick them in the ground. It was going into other people's tent area. Oh, and we were like, fuck, man. But we'll figure it out.
one day we'll.
If anyone has a tent, hit us up.
Me, I'm like, one day we'll use it.
I know. We're like, we're keeping this shit. It's still nice.
Hey, that would be good for like. Do you remember Spice Girls when they had that little tent in the back? And,
yeah,
like,
we could do that. Whenever I find a house,
girls' night,
pillows and shit. We'll start recording in there.
And then Florida, they make it all possible. All the damn mosquitoes. Getting bit the fuck up.
Off spray at every corner.
We're gonna have candles surrounding the teepee.
Yeah, literally.
But
yeah, how have you been?
I've been okay, you know, living life, I guess. Just trying to I'm in the process of getting my own place, which is very exciting. And trying to switch over, get things done, be responsible.
Heck yeah, man, adulting.
Trying to make those moves this year to make myself better. I need to go back home just to see my people, but I also need to get transcripts for school because I'm really trying to start school this next year. What else? That's pretty much it. Nothing too much. Gym. Becoming a gym rat.
She has, man.
Just going to the gym, you know, it takes my mind off a lot of things, so it's been great. That's like my go-to now.
Yeah, it's like therapy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's a healthy therapy. So, you know. What else? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait till next week. Next week?
Join us next week on our next 5-minute wind down.
I really did not mean to say it that way. Next week? Wait, next week? Tune in.
Next week we have to do British accent the whole 5 minute.
Oh my God, we're going to. We will.
We'll try.
That's what's going to happen. But thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Hopefully we got other exciting goals and exciting stories to tell you next week.
Yeah. We're not going to be drunk, that's for sure.
Maybe we'll have, you won't have wine. Maybe I'll have wine.
I'll have a glass of wine
juice. Something.
I'm giving myself a break. But yeah.
Thanks for tuning in with us at our 5-minute wind down.
Bye.
See you next time.